This is the Barbados Today morning news for Tuesday, July 25th. I am Mary-Claire Williams. Thank you for joining us. The island's 4 major trade unions are to meet to decide their next course of action following yesterday's march. The unions and the Private Sector Association joined forces to stage a march from Queen's Park in another bid to press the Freundel-Stewart administration to meet to discuss their concerns over the austerity measures announced in this year's budget. An estimated 20,000 workers from both the public and private sectors turned out to show their support. Ahead of the march, Prime Minister Stewart said the organizers had no basis for the march. But General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union, Tony Moore, says they are hoping that the Prime Minister will rethink his position.
What happens now is that we have been discussing a number of things with the private sector. On our own, without the private sector, they too are exploring a number of things, but it's one step at a time for us. We now have to regroup. We believe that when the people have spoken, that there should be a time, a point of reflection, and we are still being confident that the Prime Minister, irrespective of everything he said yesterday, will take a second look at what he saw today, understanding fully what that means, and respond appropriately. That is really our hope.
And Chairman of the Barbados Private Sector Association, Charles Herbert, is rejecting suggestions that the business community threatened social unrest if Prime Minister Stewart did not meet with the unions and private sector ahead of a scheduled August 19 meeting of the Social Partnership. Stewart told the DLP luncheon on Sunday that he was told to meet or schedule a meeting in order to avert social unrest. But Herbert told Barbados Today there is no truth to the statement. He added that yesterday's march also had nothing to do with politics or race, as some had suggested. Herbert is also optimistic that the march will achieve the desired results.
And all we came today to do was to show how many people supported the message that we are sending. And I thank you all for stating that and for everyone for coming. Let us keep it this way. Let us give a chance for everyone to see the support that we have for this message, and slowly, hopefully, things will start to change, or the dialogue will start to take place. It's not going to happen immediately. Give things time. We've made our statement.
And Chairman of Williams Industries, Ralph Busy Williams, also dismissed suggestions that race was a factor in yesterday's march.
I'm here only because I do not want Barbados to be shut down by industrial action. If we can possibly avoid it, sit down and talk to each other and to try to reach some kind of a settlement. I mean, I respect the government, I respect the Prime Minister. The government is here to make policy, but listen to the people a little bit. You could ease a little bit. You don't have to give back everything, but give them something to hold on to, because things hard out there, and that is my feeling.
And co-founder of Automotive Art, Derek Foster, is stressing the need for dialogue to improve the current state of the economy.
The tripartite has worked throughout for many, many years for Barbados, and right now the government is now engaging with us to help solve the problems. This is really about solving the problems for Barbados so we could get back to prosperity. We can't continue taxing our way into prosperity. You tax your way into poverty, and this can't continue going like this. So as far as I'm concerned, everybody needs to understand the direction that Barbados is going, and that we have the ability to correct it if we just work together.
Education Minister Ronald Jones has revealed what he says has been a state secret in terms of the number of workers who were sent home in 2013. In March this year, the General Secretary of the National Union of Public Workers, Rosalind Smith, claimed that after severing over 3,000 workers, government had since gradually rehired over 2,500 to date. But Jones told a meeting of the DLP at St. Giles Primary School on Sunday night that only 1,300 workers had actually been sent home, even though government had publicly announced 3 times that amount.
For years, we said we can't send home workers. And those workers were getting increments, even though they were not salary increases. Some of them, not all, because some would have been at their maximum. They were getting increments that keep raising the wages and salaries bill. But then it came a time when we said we can go to release a few to ease some of the pressures. And we used the phrase we were going to send home 3,000. You know we never did? You know we never did? The figures is like 1,300. We kept all of those things quiet. 1,300 out of the 3,000.
In other news this morning, the sewage problem that has been affecting the south coast is back. The latest spill was triggered by the passage of Tropical Storm Dawn last week. And the Barbados Water Authority says increased levels of fats, oils and grease caused the levels of sewage in the areas, including Rendezvous and Worthing, over the weekend to rise. The BWA also says an expected failure of 2 emergency trash pumps at the South Coast Sewage Treatment Plant contributed to the problem. One resident told Barbados Today that it is a recurring issue, especially when the island experiences heavy showers. The head of the BWA's Wastewater Division, Patricia Innes, says the authority is addressing the problem and wastewater levels should return to normal soon.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Morning, Miss Oya. Morning. You again. So you're washing cars now? Well, I can't keep up with you at all.
Yes, girl. You know they're going provision to selling slow. And I don't sell nation newspapers at all because them don't sell. So I washing cars now. I like to get up before 8:30 because I can't take the hot sun. You want the car wash?
No, not today. It clean.
But you're going in very early though?
Yeah, I just going early so I can read the Barbados Today online before work starts.
Right. But you can still let me clean the vendor for the $2. At least it's still cheaper than the nation newspaper.
All right.
I got a special boo here that I got it shiny. Thank you. Enjoy your day here.
You too.
All right. What that paper is? She can see clearly when the dirt is gone.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Thank you for staying with us. We're back now with news from the region, and we go to the Bahamas, where the opposition leader is demanding answers from the Prime Minister over the recent arrest of former parliamentarians. But the Minister of State for Legal Affairs says the law should take its course. We get the details from ZNS Network News.
Following the arrest, charge, and eventual release on bail of 2 former Progressive Liberal Party parliamentarians and the arrest of former Deputy Speaker Dion Smith, who was later cleared of all allegations, opposition leader the Honorable Philip Davis has expressed outrage in what he called a political witch hunt. In a letter to Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis dated July 18th, Davis suggested that political interference influenced the manner in which the cases were handled. We spoke with State Minister for Legal Affairs, Ellsworth Johnson, on these claims.
In a country that relies on the independence of the interrelations of the international community and the protection of the civil, political, and legal rights of our citizenry, that is not the practice.
And finally, the Israeli Security Cabinet has voted to remove metal detectors from a holy site in Jerusalem. They will use less obtrusive surveillance instead. Tensions arose after 2 Israeli policemen were killed earlier this month at the site, which is known to Jews as the Temple Mount and to Muslims as Haram al-Sharif. The UN's Middle East envoy had warned the tensions risked spreading beyond the ancient city. And that's news this morning. Remember, you can get more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Or you can tune into Mix 96.9 FM for more news. I am Marie Claire Williams. Good morning.